Leo, welcome. This is the Indigo Void. My name is Drew, and today I'll be doing a general spread along with the You Against the World spread and an oracle card at the end of the reading. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll be doing this general reading for this forecast of September 14th to 21st, Monday to Monday, and you're giving me my final sign for today. Once again, thanks so much for watching me. This is my second week of doing this consistently. Let's see if I can keep it up. My voice is kind of going out, so I'm sorry if it appears scratchy. If I cough, oh my god. So, alright. For those of you listening, I'll name of the cards. It'll be just a 10 card Celtic for the general, and a 3-on-3 for the world, and one single oracle card deck. Alright. The center of the reading for you is the 5 of Pentacles, crossed by the Knight of Pentacles. Above you is the Ten of Pentacles. Below you is the Knight of Pentacles. Recent past is the Ace of Cups. The near future is the Eight of Wands. The advice is the Three of Pentacles. Out whether see you is the Fool. Your hopes and fears is the Ace of Pentacles. And the Knight of Swords is the outcome. Alright, so right off the bat, so you're leaving what you established before with the Five of Pentacles. So something that you invested your time into, or people recognize you for, or you're well known for, or what you invested in, you're walking away from, and you want to find a new identity. And you have to have that faith, but also it's kind of something that you're scared of, because having to do it at night when you're less exposed or being noticed of doing something and finding a change, you know, it can be scary, but at the same time you have to have that optimism to leave. It must have been so, not devastating, but so uncomfortable, or like the temptation to leave and find something better has to be so great, whether it be by shame or by inspiration, to leave what you've had behind or what you're known for and going to a different path. You know, it takes a lot of courage. And with the Knight of Pentacles here, I can see it's the right thing to do. You know, ultimately, if you're looking for something better, the Knight of Pentacles is moving forward, because he doesn't move backwards, he just stops. He stops and he doesn't allow any new benefits to come in. And finally, you might notice, you know, as you leave the, you know, macro universe or micro universe, to me the Knight of Pentacles is finally an opportunity to start showing up, because it's saying, I'm not going to let you go. As long as you're staying in this Five of Pentacles energy of not leaving and recognizing it and walking away, you know, those things will be hidden from you. You might face lots of blockages, because, you know, having to realize that and say, okay, I've had enough of this. It's not giving me what I'm looking for. The Knight of Pentacles, it can appear slow, but it has to be worth your time, because ultimately when it comes to you, finally the Knight of Pentacles has something that's stable, and it's not something you have to double check. It just stops. Either it stops or it goes forward, and there's no going backwards from making mistakes or overlooking errors. It can be hard to recognize, but still we'd rather, you know, take our time getting there. We'd rather be patient for something that's valuable. Excuse me. Okay, so above you, that's more noticeable in the reading, is the Ten of Pentacles. So, you know, having a healthy family life, you know, you could be having a lot of support and inspiration from family or people around you. Seem calm and enjoy your company. They can see a lot of things that you've accomplished before, or what you're capable of. I mean, there's lots of things you can be proud of in here. You know, just having time to be available, or being confident in yourself enough to be vulnerable with people, and you know, you've mastered a lot of lessons in life, and you have a lot of self-respect for yourself, and people can recognize that because you're not insecure about, you know, anything that you're capable of with your self-worth issues, and so people feel comfortable being around you and enjoy your company. You know, so take this time to recognize, you know, that's really hard to maintain and achieve. You know, we're all capable of making mistakes, but sometimes taking that slow route, that slow path of the Knight of Pentacles to achieve the Ten of Pentacles energy, and having the courage to do the Five of Pentacles energy, and taking the risk of leaving what we've established before to find something new that's better for us, it goes more in our gives us a better place to grow, is ultimately you can jump from the 5 to the 10 in this method. You know, sometimes we have to have that faith that what we're leaving behind or whatever, we've given it our best shot. You know, there's almost like a time to say, I've given enough effort of myself, my self-worth has been so vested in that, but I'm meant to be a different identity. It's like going to school for college and things like that, and realizing halfway through it's just a waste of time. You know, it's just not what I want to do with myself, or is it really going to bring me to my final goal, and taking that risk to say, you know, I can find something better. You know, I followed this one YouTuber for a while. Like, he was in UCLA, and he was like a freshman. He had 6 months, and all of a sudden he was doing funny videos on YouTube, and then, you know, next you know, like halfway through he started making videos talking about leaving school, and he was interviewing his friends around him, saying, like, you know, should I leave? What do you think, it's a bad idea? And like 3/4 of the people he asked, strangers on the campus or people he knew, and were just saying, yeah, man, just go. This place sucks. You know, you're not going to get anything out of here. And next, he's, all the success he had was told he had to work for through going to school and learning books and working for somebody else. Now he's making more money than he ever would without any student loan debt. Just by taking that risk and saying, I'm going to leave and take a risk out here and know that I'm recognized for something better. My talents are going to be used better elsewhere. And he's probably experiencing the Ten of Pentacles, because now he has videos just having fun. Having fun making the money that he already had, and all he had to do was not work hard for his money. He's had to transition now his thought, his self-worth, and recognizing his true purpose was inspiring and making people laugh. Even if it is a persona that I see on YouTube through being a lens, that's fine. All I can say is that money talks. So if he's financially doing all these fun things on YouTube, whatever, I'm proud of him. I'm happy for him to take the courage of seeing the people around him go down this path and saying this doesn't feel right, and walking away, and coming out and being rewarded for his courage to walk away from, whether it be his parents, their patterns in life, or their processes of how they achieve the stability, and saying, no, I'm going to do it differently. And it rewarded him for being different and taking that risk. The Knight of Pentacles is below you, is the Knight of Pentacles now. And this could be less obvious. That the thing that's obvious to you is you have a lot of people around you that are satisfied and they feel comfortable being around you because you have a lot of things that are, you have a lot of self-respect and self-courage, and you've invested in a lot of things that are healthy for you. But I think it's because the Knight of Pentacles energy is that deep inside, I think that you weren't expecting that. You're comfortable with yourself because, and people recognize why you're comfortable with yourself is why they like to be around you, is because they know that you're not like an emotional vampire to a certain extent. You're not going to need anything from them because you invested in healthy hobbies. You probably have, invested in a healthy career, things that give you a lot of self-respect and self-worth. So you're not going to talk shit about somebody or hurt somebody else's feelings because you invest in yourself and you're so confident in who you are that people around you aren't going to see you as somebody as a threat. They're not going to see somebody saying, I only feel good because I alienate people and I heard about them and I'm jealous of them. That was just somebody saying, I'm comfortable being alone with myself in the Knight of Pentacles energy because I know what I can achieve through my self-worth. I know I can accomplish a lot. I know if I had nobody else around me, whatever, I would still feel just as good as I did being surrounded by everybody in this Ten of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is obviously a good feeling of knowing and never forgetting what can get you that Ten of Pentacles, is obviously relying on the Knight of Pentacles energy of knowing what that you can do on yourself and not become so addicted to that Ten of Pentacles energy of everybody else around you, but knowing that how you achieve it is by having that strong self-worth, whether they're there or not. And it's kind of like, having the same thought process, just because, having lots of followers online and saying, oh, great job, I love your video, or great job, I appreciate what you do. It's like the celebrities. Have you seen the celebrities going crazy during the pandemic? It's like as soon as they turn off the attention hose or the attention well or the attention pipeline, I guess you could say, they go crazy. And then they're so used to getting compliments all the time and told how wonderful they are and getting their ass wiped for them, and all of a sudden they really don't have that Knight of Pentacles energy. They don't have it on their own. They have to have all these people around them here in this Knight of Pentacles energy telling them how good they are, all the time. That just sucks. That's just too much success. That's a victim of our own success sometimes. And in the recent past here, we can see is the Ace of Cups. So, having a new beginning, having a fresh start is not as easy as it sounds. I mean, waking up one day after having tragedy or negative circumstances, to wake up one day and to feel inspired and to feel like okay, I can really invest in myself, because the emotions are tricky, man. I mean, as much as you really want to say, to do something with the wand, that's easier to me. If my room is dirty, I can clean it. If my car is dirty or needs gas, I can go do it. If I need to go somewhere to get something done, I can do it. But how I feel about it, I mean, that's just a little bit harder, man. It's more of the subconscious programming on me, where it takes more effort to tell myself, I'm going to think about this differently and feel about it. Just thinking, acting, and investing my time into my self-worth, man. The cups are just elusive, and that's why they deal with the subconscious, that lower, invisible sphere, because it's so easy to accomplish the pentacles and the wands if you're able to. Those are the things that the conscious mind can help you do. Maybe not do right or actually manifest something that's worth your time, but you can do them. Like your lungs, I can just constantly breathe, or I can just let my mind stop thinking about it, but I'm still going to do it. Whereas the emotions, to me, that's just all, everything around you. If there's something that triggers you, like you're looking at a painting and it just makes you feel a certain way, or a song that you feel, it's just so easy to be knocked off course. And to have that fresh start of the Ace of Cups is spectacular. I was just saying, one day it's just something like this internal clock or this higher power just said, you know what? I'm ready. I'm ready for that, that spark of inspiration, this optimism that, something is giving me a chance for hope. This chance to feel good, almost like a neutral feeling, but this like, it's not negative. It's a chance to go up or down, not just down or just up. It's just a chance, and that's a nice chance. I think it's just like this inspiration to leave what you knew behind because you've given it all your all, and it's not really what you want to do. And just having this faith that the Knight of Pentacles, sure, it's still moving, but I know it's moving now because I recognize I have to move, and it will move with me. I can't just sit there and pray for everything to come to me all the time, because if the longer I stayed in that Five of Pentacles energy, the more I'm thinking about this better opportunity that's never going to come as long as I think about it until I stop and take action. And having your own self-worth with the Knight of Pentacles brings the Ten of Pentacles with people being around you and resonating with how you feel and what you do. The Eight of Wands is in the near future. This is like quick action. This right here is like, okay, taking the steps, whatever has caused, new opportunities to show up with this Knight of Pentacles faster than you think. I mean, sure, he may move slow, but he's saying, okay, I was standing still just waiting for you, bro. And now the Eight of Wands is saying, let's go. Let's go quickly, because we have a lot to get done here because he took so long. And the Ace of Cups is saying, wow, like, you're saying all this stuff can happen. Like, I have this huge checklist of things to do, and I'm happy to do them. I'm inspired, I'm passionate, and we're having free motion with nice weather, and it's enabling us to get things done, and it feels so clear and clarity. It feels so right. I'm living in synchronicity. And my actions are very recognized. I have people behind me chanting. I have the wind in my sails. And the advice here is the Three of Pentacles, and this is recognizing that you're qualified for your work that you're doing, even if you haven't accomplished anything yet, or you're halfway done, or you're establishing something new. People around you will find you as being qualified for what you're doing. So have faith that what you're doing is very valuable, and people around you are willing to put their faith in you and let you know that, hey, they'll give you the support and the rewards before you get the job done, because they know you're capable of doing it, because you're well qualified of what you've done before. They're just saying that your talents of what you were doing before were not placed in the right direction. So it's saying, like, you're meant to do this job. Once you recognize where you're meant to do this job, it wasn't that you're a bad person. It's just that you weren't, your piece of the puzzle wasn't being fit into the right place. If you're a circle and you're trying to fit into a square, if you're a square trying to fit into a circle, once we get you into the circle of being a circle, then everything fits into place. You recognize, wow, I'm not talentless, I'm not lazy, I'm not stupid. I'm just meant to be doing something different, because everybody's good at something. But recognizing it is the key. And now we can see the next card right here is how other people are seeing you as the Fool, and taking that chance, taking that leap of faith, but also you have the optimism saying, okay, I'm doing something that I have to start all over from. I have to start from ground zero, and I have to have that faith of not thinking about what the pitfalls are going to be and experiencing them as they go, saying, no, I'm taking this chance, this new journey, this new adventure, and I'm going to look at it as something new and enjoy. It's like either if I live or die, and I have to develop this faith that I'm going to live. I have to develop this faith that everything's going to work out, because my ignorance of failure, whatever, is actually the best thing for us. It might look bad for us to actually walk out almost off a cliff or whatever, to the observer. And we have to be very careful, because people are going to try to tell you that that's why it's called the Fool, is because people are going to call you some uncomfortable names and say, what are you doing? Like, that's weird, or don't do that, man. That's dangerous, because they're afraid of being the Fool. They're afraid of seeming crazy. They're afraid to take that risk, and only the Fool is willing to take that risk to start a new beginning and go down a different path that could be amazingly successful for them. And you want to avoid that crab bucket mentality. So people are seeing you as somebody that's brave, but also foolish, but also focus more on that brave part, because it's something that they're watching you do, and they'd rather call you a fool than call you brave person. And when you fall off that cliff, whatever, you land into a bucket of money, success, and out of the prison that they all suffer from, because they're so afraid to fall down and take that leap of faith and be the Fool, just like you were. I mean, it's like they're willing to. It's like parkour. It's like we're all willing to we're all willing to praise people that do these crazy stunts, all over like the street, doing backflips, whatever, leaping across stuff. But as soon as they get hurt, we're like, oh, see, that was stupid. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't have done that. That's why you're an idiot. But like, you look at it, like, people made that on Jackass. Anybody remembers Jackass? It's like a bunch of guys doing like dumbass stunts and getting hurt and doing dumb things, but it made them rich. It made them well known, it made them famous. Not that being rich and famous is all that you can aspire from, or that's even true success. But what I'm saying here is that they transformed it. People were telling them things all their lives, you're gonna be stupid, or oh, that's dumb, why would you ever do that? And they transformed it and made it something that everybody else has to respect them for. People have to eat those words, really. And now the next card we see is the hopes and fears section, is the Ace of Pentacles. And so, will this opportunity come like this Ace of Cups? Will this spark of inspiration that drove you to leave? Is it going to pay off? You know, how is the universe going to grant you this stuff? If you meet it halfway with this Eight of Wands by taking action, and this Five of Pentacles will lead you forward, this Knight of Pentacles energy, when is this new beginning going to, when is this new opportunity going to come? You know, is this universe really going to bless you? Because inside, you know, you have this, you know, self-worth, no issue that you can, you know, you'll live and succeed, and your inspiration won't die if you don't get any attention. But you ideally are looking forward to and want to experience more than just like the local people around you, the family support system, of people being happy for you. You want to see some real success and something really to work on here with this full energy in combination with the Ace of Pentacles. And if people are willing to put the Three of Pentacles, the faith of you being qualified, so if I'm qualified, I'm really hoping that the opportunity from the universe will be something really worth me growing into. You know, I need that shell, I need that hermit crab shell that's really going to allow me to be, you know, much larger than myself, that I can really become more powerful and see that it's worth even what I put all my time into with the Five of Pentacles before. The outcome, you know, the Knight of Swords. You know, it's like, you know, mentally rushing forward. That the clarity can be so strong, but also we have to be careful of making mistakes. You know, like we're seeing everything as an Ace of Pentacles energy. It could really drive us nuts. We're looking for everywhere. You know, everywhere we see what we're thinking of. You know, we could be looking for opportunities everywhere, thinking like, oh, you know, I left this, so now I notice, like, you know, I noticed that opportunity, and it's just like that one, and you're just rushing forward like a ping pong ball, trying to figure those things out, trying to figure out the magic of the universe, and you know that's not going to work. The more you try to focus on things, like with the Knight of Swords, and hasting towards it and coming to conclusions, is actually going to go against you. So I would not consider, like, you know, focusing on what's going to happen. It's like peeking at your Christmas presents. You know, I mean, just wait till Christmas. You know, find a way to occupy your time doing something else. You know, I mean, hone your skills. You know, just like find something else besides, you know, thinking about what's in those presents all the time. Just let it go. They'll still come. They're already there. Oh, sorry about that. We're gonna do a You Against the World spread. Kind of burnt out. I guess I was canceled with a 2-part video, so I'm like, here's my 6th video today. The center is the Queen of Swords. For you is the Six of Wands, the Sun, and the King of Cups. The world is the Knight of Swords, the Six of Wands, and the Tower. Wow. Okay, with the Queen of Swords energy here, this is, to me, is that, you know, somebody having to face the facts. You know, if you want to, you know, not in a negative sense, but they want to say it's, you know, are you willing to deal with the reality situation instead of fantasizing so much? So let's go toe to toe. To me, it's just, you know, let's face reality on the inside. Let's come to the realization of what's true to us, what's the most truthful things to us that's going to avoid us, because we've been hurt before, we've been, you know, scorned and dealt with, but ultimately, like, all this pain and suffering that we've been through has allowed our mind and how we talk to ourselves to become more respectful. And people were terrified of somebody with this mentality that, hey, I'll cut you if you attempt to try to dominate my mind and try to tell me how I should think about myself. You know, I have self-respect, I have self-worth. Nobody can come in here but me and change how I think about, you know, I have these points of view. It's going to take a lot of balls to come in here and change how I think about myself and my values. That's what the Queen of Swords energy to me represents. So the Six of Wands for you and the Knight of Swords on the world side, to me, it's in combination with the Queen of Swords energy. It's all about, you know, if you want to be recognized with the Six of Wands energy, if you want people to understand and follow your lead here, recognize you as doing something that they haven't done, you have to understand that, you know, the people that were doing it for just to get it out of their head, to have it done now with the Knight of Swords energy, is that the world is saying is that you need to strike while you need to face the facts that you need to strike while the iron's hot. You know, if you really want something, stop living in fantasy and being willing to take risk in life. Take risk in life, whatever, and you can be the first person. If you just, like, you know, for instance, you know, this is hypothetical, but let's say you had an opportunity to go to space, you know, or if, like, Indiana Jones, he's terrified of snakes and he's trying to go to, you know, in this temple, but he knows there's lots of snakes in there and stuff. You know, the Queen of Swords here is saying, okay, well, how do you think about, like, how do you feel about yourself? You know, are you willing to be the Six of Wands and go in there and conquer the ancient temple and conquer your fears of how you think about the snakes and how they affect you? Or are you gonna, like, you know, Are you going to make the decision quickly and not think about it and just get it over with the Knight of Swords and face your demons? Or are you going to wait in stagnation for somebody else to say, you know what, I'm just going to go first. I'm not afraid of snakes at all. And they get the recognition and you don't. So strike while the iron's hot, whatever, and really deal with some inner conflicts, your inner thoughts, whatever, how you're talking to yourself. And don't say it has to be somebody else sitting on top of that horse being recognized. Say it can be you. And the next card we have for you is the Sun, in combination with the Queen of Swords and the Seven of Wands on the world side. So the Queen of Swords in combination with the Sun, to me, with the Seven of Wands, would be, we need to face the fact that how we talk to ourselves, and ultimately allowing ourselves to have, you know, the energy of constantly glowing and having inspiration and have that lightness of heart. You know, to find the good in all things, whatever, and how we see ourselves is most important. Because the world is saying is that that's your advantage in life. You know, really harvesting that inner feeling of that, before we saw the Knight of Pentacles energy of that self-worth and self-respect. So having that inner thought process where you can be joyful, to maintain those feelings and thoughts of the best possible opportunities happening all the time, to have that mental clarity of saying, no, it's all going to work out. And it's having this, you know, clarity of thought of saying, my mind is clear. In my mind, I'm picturing a beautiful sun. I have nothing to hide from. You know, I live in integrity, and I really find the joy in all things in life. And it's also saying that that will be your advantage over everybody else, is that everything that's going to act against you, whatever, will falter against that mindset. It cannot be defeated if you have the proper mindset. Everything that's going to come against you, all these actions are saying they're bouncing off this armor. That's not even armor. It doesn't weigh a bit. It's just all in your head, and nobody can dominate your thought process. Your thoughts are like the ultimate thing you have control over. It's the most controlling aspect, is that you're responsible for your thoughts. So why not make sure you stay in the sun's energy, and you're going to fight off all these actions of the world around you trying to take that away from you, because that's the most valuable thing. That's what you could be recognized for, as being positive. And we see here finally at the King of Cups, and we have the Tower on the world side. So in combination with the Queen of Swords, I can see the King of Cups. It's just saying to maintain that sun energy by understanding, is that, you know, understanding how your emotions can be manipulated against you through your thought process. You know, if you think about panicking, whatever, your feelings of, you know, despair or your feelings of bitterness can keep you closed off. You know, so understand that the Tower is that, you know, that it's going to be, the more you have a maturity over how you feel about yourself and how you're talking to yourself and how you're feeling, it's going to create things like changes that are unable, that, you know, it would just seem like the world just comes into place with this Tower. It's almost like, you know, you think that, you know, establishments or things that you built, paradigms that you experienced, do you feel like those things can't be destroyed, you know, because you can't destroy them, and you watch this power greater than yourself come and wipe it all out? Those that are in power, those that are in control within your lives, the people that you think around you that think that they're powerful, you know, you think they're safe in their tower they built up and invested in, it can come crumbling down, and all of a sudden they're on ground level, and it doesn't matter if you're one step above them or on that little 3-step stool of, you know, the the 3 of Pentacles. Just because you're on that little step stool, all of a sudden you're above them. So understand that this thought process, how you're speaking to yourself internally, whatever, it can move mountains. It can, if you just have this recognition for yourself, it can stop, you know, quickly coming comments from people, their thoughts about you affecting you, because the Queen of Swords here is guarding you from that. They're guarding you from people talking shit. They're guarded from people hurting you. They're guarded from, you know, unwarranted attacks of people around you having more power, thinking they're untouchable, but as well as you building up things that will ultimately be destroyed by a power greater than yourself, that you'd be blinded from building up, because you won't fall into these pitfalls. You know, understand that what you're going to do is most valuable, and to be recognized for, place value on what you're doing with your time. The Sun is saying have this mindset of always having the joy and happiness in your heart, whereas the King of Cups is saying understand that your emotional maturity and the control the emotions have over you and how they make you act, if you understand them and you don't let them rule you, like, all these obstacles are gone. All these obstacles. The Queen of Swords here is, I wish I could show you guys the cards, but it's like the Queen of Swords is here, you know, guarding everything of you against this world. You know, it's pretty crazy. Alright, so let's do your oracle. Very cool reading. Making good time on this one. All right. Give me a card for Leo. One card for Leo, please. Freedom. Did we get this last week? I swear we got it last week. Alright, so let's do it again. Maybe you need to hear this one more time. Freedom. This card answers your questions by guiding you to seek greater freedom. Perhaps this comes from releasing something that no longer serves you. This card is also a confirmation that your prayers for freedom have been heard, and the angels are working to bring change more into your life. As an indigo, you can sense when someone is being controlled or manipulated, and you have an innate ability to see unnecessary restrictions and rules. But sometimes you may unknowingly impose your own restrictions and rules upon yourself. When you draw this card, it signals that you should release control over your desires. Freely dream big for yourself and this planet, and allows angels to guide you with their internal and infinite wisdom. Awesome, Leo. So remember that Queen of Swords energy, and remember how you're talking to yourself and the value of your own, how you talk to yourself, especially if I'm repeating myself. So thanks again for joining me. I'll see you guys again next Monday. Take care.